Hello, Virgo. So let's go ahead and get started. I have prayed over the cards, shuffled them. Let's go ahead and get started. Nice thing is, camera is really close today, so you guys should have no problem reading and seeing all of these. Okay. Outstanding. So the first card we have here, I'll just hold it up so everyone can read it and we'll put it back down. If it's going to zoom in, it's Angel of Diet and Nutrition. Pay attention to what you eat and drink. You intuitively know what is good for you. What they're saying is this, so there's a number of you that this past week, especially the past 4 or 5 days, it's almost like your bodies are going through some physical changes. And a number of you have been being intuitively guided to make some changes with your diet with regards to what you eat, what you drink. And for some of you, being encouraged to cut alcohol, some of you being encouraged to cut sugars. But I get the number of you, you've been getting this intuitive guidance to make some changes to help you maintain a balanced diet and then just to make some changes that are better for your body. And I get for some of you the past like 4 or 5 days, it's really become an issue because I get for some of you, they're saying it's almost like your body has turned up the heat. So let's say intuitively, okay, what they're saying is, so for some of you, you've been getting some intuitive guidance to, cut back the sugar, like get rid of the sugar. And I get for like the past 4 or 5 days when you've eaten things that have, are high levels of sugar in them, that your body's had adverse reactions to it. So for some of you, you've been really bloated, maybe you've been kind of sick to your stomach. That's just the divine trying to reinforce the guidance that they've been giving you to make those changes, those healthy changes that are in your best interest. So they're really encouraging you to listen to that guidance that they're giving you, to make those changes, because that is going to be best for you and your health. And they're really encouraging you to listen and make those changes. And they will help you with that. Just ask for their help and they'll help you with those changes. So now the next card, actually we don't even have to lift that up. I think you guys can see that pretty well. And that is the card Time. Okay, now what they're saying with this is, so everything in life is a cycle, and time is how we measure those cycles. So, time is how we measure, cycles of the earth and the moon and the sun, and how we also look at how things change, the time it takes to change from one career to the next, or sometimes time in relationships, so everything is measured in time. Everything's a cycle, and we are constantly in the midst of shifting cycles, shifting changes. It could be, daylight savings time, it could be summer, winter, childhood, parenthood. It's just everything in life there's a season, there is a time, there is a cycle. So we're constantly going through cycles and transition, a constant movement forward in life. And even though when we go through cycles of change and times of constant change, and for many of us it can be overwhelming change, because I get a lot of you are going through some just very overwhelming changes in life right now. And many are, kind of like digging in the heels, like, this is not a change that I want. I didn't ask for this. I didn't want this. This was not in my plan. And you're just digging in your heels, saying, no, not only no, but hell no, I did not want this. Please make this stop. I want off this ride. I like things how they were. I want things how they were. But they're just trying to encourage you and trying to help you go excuse me. Anyhow, so we're constantly going through these changes, constantly going through these shifts. And right now, what they're encouraging you to do is to gracefully go through these shifts and go through these changes. Excuse me. Hopefully we will not have to edit this. Hopefully we can get through this all together. Yes, I'm going through changes too. So anyhow, we're all going through these large, big shifts and changes. And it's a big time in our lives where things are just shifting. A lot of it is out of our control. And many of us, we feel like we feel stuck. A lot of us, we're kind of feeling stuck because we're wishing and wanting things from the past, or we're hoping for the future. Like, when this happens, when I get my dream house, when I get married, when I get this dream job, when I get back with so-and-so, when this happens, then suddenly my life is going to be amazing. And it's going to be this thing that I dreamed of. So what they're encouraging us to do is to snap out of that. Because if we're constantly hoping for tomorrow, we won't get there, because we're going to be blocking ourselves. That we have to be in the moment, in the current time, in a place of happiness, joy, appreciation. And for those of us that are stuck in the past of, wanting to have what we used to have, wanting, oh, why was I you know, why did I have to leave that company? I missed that company. Or, you know, why did he, she, you know, divorce me? Why can't I get back with him? Why can't I make it work? But looking at things in the past and keeping longing for those things, same thing, that they're encouraging us to snap out of that, because we have blessings waiting for us on the other end. And they're saying some of us are just stuck in a place of frustration, you know, feeling stuck but not knowing, you know, what to do, because they're saying being in the midst of like a waiting period, a time of waiting. So they're just encouraging everyone to be in the present time, be in a place of gratitude, be in a place of patience, and being in a place of surrender, because they're saying on all fronts. So for those people that are, you know, really longing for, okay, when, you know, things get to what I want them to be, to not long for that, because to let go and let God. And for those that are, you know, longing for things of the past, to let that go and surrender that, because those things aren't meant for you. God doesn't take things away unless he fully intends to replace it with something, you know, 10 times better or 100 times better in the case for many of you. So they're just encouraging you to just let go, let God, surrender to the process, be in the present moment, and prepare yourself for the blessings that are coming your way, because they are definitely bringing them your way. Now, the last card that we have here is Purgatory. It looks like a lovely abstract painting. And that is, hopefully my puppy's not too obnoxiously loud. She simply, I think, wants to be a movie star every time we do these videos. So the Purgatory. Now, this is kind of tied to the you know, feeling stuck and frustrated and kind of like a displeasure with where things are going. So they're saying that there have been, for a number of you, just a lot of emotional ups and downs and moments of discouragement. And they want you to know that what you've been going through is all just part of the healing process that you're going through in order to heal and release the things that no longer serve you. Because right now you're going through a time of transformation, a time of healing, a time of releasing, in order to let go of these things that are not meant for you. And for a number of you, it doesn't feel positive. It's kind of going back to that example where they were giving and, you know, just digging in your heels because, you know, this is not what I wanted. This was not my plan. You may not realize it's your plan because you can't see it above. You can't see it from a higher level like God and the angels can. They are seeing it from that level. They are seeing that this is divinely meant for you. This is what's going to usher in those blessings and those things that you truly do desire and you have been praying for and asking for. But you've got to let that old stuff go. And it doesn't feel good, and it doesn't feel positive, and it feels very emotional and overwhelming. And they're saying for some of you, it's almost like, you know, God, why would you do this? Why would you take her from me? Why would you take him from me? Why would you take this job from me? Why are you taking these things that I so deeply desire and want? But they're saying to just trust, because that's being done for you and for what's best for you. It doesn't seem like it right now. But if you just trust, let go, let God, allow them to facilitate this healing process for you, this releasing process, to let go of the things that do not serve you, that are not meant to be in your life. If you just trust and let all that go, to also include, they're also saying any of your fears, your worries, your negative thoughts, your doubts, just to let that go so you can fully be in this time of transformation, you will be so thankful 1 month from now, 2 months from now. They're saying some of you it could even be up to 6 months from now, but you will see why. At that point, you will be able to see what the plan was and why this all happened the way it did. But it is for your highest good. It is to bring in those blessings. You're simply going through a transformation. And transformations mean letting stuff go. Even when it hurts, even when we're frustrated and we just can't see why. We just don't understand, God, why? Why am I going through this? They're just asking you to trust. Trust the process. This is part of getting you to where you want to be, where you will find your happiness, where you will find your bliss. You just have to trust and surrender. Because they're saying the moment you trust and surrender, that's when they're going to be able to step in to heal this. And they will be able to step in and finally replace this situation with something so much more blessed and meant for you. But it starts with you surrendering, letting go, letting God. They're saying for some of you it's going to be a letter. So for some of you that, you know, you're in this relationship or you're trying to get back in this relationship with someone, or trying to salvage a relationship with someone, make it work out, trying to keep it from completely falling apart, even though in your heart you know it's not meant for you. They're encouraging you to write a letter. write a letter to that person, because they're saying a number of you have known that this isn't the right person for you, but you keep holding on for reasons, be it financial, codependency. Yeah, they're saying a lot of codependency. But for whatever your reasons may be, they're encouraging you to write a letter. You're not going to give that letter to that person, but on the full moon, write that person a letter saying, you know, dear Bob, Jim, Susie, whomever this letter is to, I feel hurt and disappointed by this such and such behaviors, or by the ways that you have treated me. I feel deceived, lied to, manipulated, controlled because of such and such behaviors. And just put it all out. Put your feelings out. Those feelings that you haven't been able to communicate with that person. And for many of you, you haven't even communicated with yourself. Because I get for some of you, you've not even wanted to acknowledge those feelings that you're feeling. This is a way for you to acknowledge those emotions, those feelings that you've tried to stuff down, and it's such a strong effort to make it work, to just write those feelings down. And then close that letter with saying, I forgive you and I release you. You are completely free to move forward in your life, and I am completely free to move forward in my life. And then burn it. Burn the letter, let it go. And ask that God and Archangel Michael help you release that person from you and let them go. So have that be your ceremony. And for some of you, it may be a letting go of like emotions. So, you know, sit down and write down a list of emotions. Like maybe you've had frustrations at work and you're upset with how things have been going at work. Write down all your list of emotions and things that you've felt. You know, I'm angry, I'm mad, I want to kick a door, or whatever it is that you're feeling. Just write down the emotions, because when you allow yourself to feel it, that is the moment that you will heal it. The problem is we try so hard to stuff down our emotions because today's society has taught us to not feel emotions, and that's why we have so many dis-ease. We have a lot of diseases, because when we stuff those things down, we can't heal it. And what happens, and I see day after day when I do healing work on people, most diseases that people have stem from emotional issues. From big things like cancer to things like arthritis. Usually it's because of emotions that have not been dealt with, processed, healed, and released. So let yourself write down all those emotions, everything. Just write them all down. And then ask God and Archangel Michael to help you release it. Take that list. I think burning it makes it, like when I'm doing a release ceremony, I like to burn it, because for me, that's kind of like a finality. Like, I'm letting this junk go. And I like to catch it on fire, and I like to throw it in a pan and watch it burn. And then I run water all over it so I don't burn my house down, because that would not be good. But it's really therapeutic. But for maybe some of you, maybe it'll be therapeutic for you just to rip it up in shreds. But whatever makes you feel like, I am letting this junk go, do it. Shred it, burn it, ball it up, you know, do a slam dunk with a trash can. Whatever helps you let it go. You're being encouraged to do that. They are encouraging you to do that because that is going to help you, because there's a number of you that you're at this final catalyst moment, but you're staying stuck and not moving forward because you're not letting it go. You're not letting that person go. You're not letting that situation with work. You're not letting that situation, for some of you, it's even with a family member. But because you're holding on to it so hard, you're holding on to that person so hard, you're holding on to your beliefs, you're sticking to your grounds. For some of you, it's the job. But because you're holding on so tightly and you won't let it go, that's why you're not moving forward. And for a number of you, you've been stuck in this situation for months, and for some of you, even years. So they're encouraging you to finally just let it go, so God can bring you the new. Because that's what you really want and you've been praying for. So, okay. So, I guess we get another card. They told me to pull up the bottom card off of this deck. Let's see. Angel of... Well played. So, remember me coughing earlier, and I was saying they're probably going to bring up communication because I have a tickle in my throat. That's funny. So, Angel of Expression, speak your truth and express yourself clearly. Okay, so for some of you, that in order to get through this, to finally get out of that place of being stuck, to finally let it go, let that person go, let that job go, let that situation go, you're going to have to express yourself. So you're going to have to go a little bit beyond that letter or that list. Because I get for a number of you, you're afraid of expressing yourself because you don't want to hurt that person that you love or you care for. Be it a family member you've not been agreeing with, be it that lover, that partner you keep trying to cling on to and not let go. You know in your heart they're not right for you, but because you do care for them, you do love them, you don't want to hurt them, but they're encouraging you to speak up. You are going to have to speak up and speak your truth and express yourself clearly with them. And when you speak the truth and you do it from a compassionate, honest place, and you do that with, love, and you are clear with your communications, you won't hurt that person. You really won't. What you'll probably find is they'll tell you, oh, well, I kind of felt that too. And I'm so glad you brought it up. And then they'll share their truth, and you'll find out that you're not hurting them. You both have been thinking and wanting the same thing, but no one has spoken up. No one's communicated. Communicate. Stop stuffing down your emotions. Stop running from it. Stop hiding. Stop digging your heels in. Communicate, because that will set you free. That lack of expressing yourself, it's causing you more hurt, more angst, more worry, more soul-destroying, more upsetting emotions for not just you, but for them and everyone that's concerned, and it's holding you back from your happiness. So the angels, they know that you have fear and worry about having this conversation, so just ask for their help. They are going to help you with this conversation, because for a number of you, it is going to be a difficult conversation, and it's going to be one that you're not going to feel comfortable starting or having, but just ask for their help. Ask Archangel Gabriel to help you, because Archangel Gabriel, she will help you communicate clearly. She will help you find those words when you're having that conversation. And call on Archangel Michael, because he will give you the strength and the courage that you're going to need to have this conversation during this difficult time. So call on them for their help, and they will help you be able to honestly, clearly, and in a compassionate way express yourself in order to free yourself. And they're encouraging you to do that so you can finally get out of this place of being stuck and finally move forward into your happiness and bliss and all those things that await for you. And they just said another reminder, and they're saying again to remind everyone that's in this situation, God is not going to take from you what is not meant for you, unless he intends to give you something that isn't meant to be, that is a blessing, that is a joy, that is a bliss, that is perfect for you. So just trust that and know that you're giving this up, the stuff that's not good for you, because you're going to get the biggest blessing you could ever imagine. And it's actually better than what you could imagine. For a number of you, they're saying it's, if you sat down and wrote down your wish list, here's my little list of everything I'd like, nice big slice of pie with whipped cream and cherry on top. This is way bigger than that. It's just totally something you could not imagine. But you're going to have to let the old go in order for them to bring in the new. And they are going to help you do that, because I get for a number of you just been absolutely frustrated because you just have been feeling stuck for so long. Like, how am I going to get out of this miserable place? I just want things to work out at work. I just want to get along with my family. I just want to get back with this lover. I want to make things work out with this lover. It's not meant to be. None of that stuff's meant for you. So they're really encouraging you to have the courage to have the communications, have those conversations, finally let those things go. Trust. And they're going to help you with that, so you can get unstuck and get moving forward to your happiness, your bliss, those things that are awaiting you. So I do wish everyone the very best. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for all the feedback, the comments. I do love hearing from everyone. Filled with a lot of love, joy, and blessings.